welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on having owned this CRF300 Rally for 12 months. I've had it for almost exactly a year. So yeah, so if you're interested in knowing what mods I've done, any little tweaks I've done, any issues, any hints and tips and stuff like that, my general thoughts of it, then please come along for this lovely ride in Wales and join us and you'll see what I think. So the plan for this video is I'm going to take this CRF300 Rally along, well, I'm riding currently along the Akrapovic Pass in magnificent Wales, and then I'm going to head up the Devil's Staircase, which is pretty self-explanatory, and then round to the Llyn Brianne Reservoir. We're going to ride all the way around that. And while I'm doing that, I will share with you, as I said, my thoughts on having owned this bike for 12 months. Firstly, what a magnificent day. It's warm. This is the warmest day of the summer here in Wales so far. The sun is actually shining. Look at this scenery. Look at it. Absolutely stunning. So really lucky to be doing this. I'll stop on the way as well. We'll have a bit of a walk around the bike and I'll share with you some of the modifications that I've done. So first of all, I love it. I don't know if you saw, I did another YouTube where I'd first got the bike and just my first initial thoughts. I was still running it in and stuff. So since then, in 12 months ownership, I've done 859 miles, which is truly embarrassing. And no miles at all really, and that's no reflection on the bike, far from it. It's just that last summer the weather was terrible, this summer didn't start off so great, and I've got other bikes to ride and stuff, so just haven't had the time to ride it. But it's absolutely no reflection on the bike whatsoever. Yeah, so you know, I had a CRF250L before, which I part exchanged for this, so I kind of knew what I was getting. I should definitely say this is a road-based review, so there's no off-roading, I'm afraid. That might be a separate video. But yeah, this is the type of roads that I ride on. This is why I brought the bike. So we live here in rural Wales, and these lanes like this, maybe not all with this scenery, but these lanes are fairly common, and these are the sort of bikes I ride it on. So this is what I want it for. And it's absolutely perfect for this. I found you could use it for other stuff, so on the way up here I was riding up a main A road, and you know, 70, 75, no problem. It will go faster, but it's comfortable at 70. Overtaking traffic is fine, need a little bit of planning. You know, you can't just make a rash decision at the last minute to fly past someone, because it hasn't got the power, so you just need a little bit of thought about it. But it's perfectly comfortable on those roads, probably not his happy place. This is probably more find out for the sheep, more what it's really about. Well, I wasn't going to stop quite so soon for the walk around video, but look at this spot. So yeah, I didn't have much choice really. I absolutely couldn't resist stopping. So a couple of things I've done to the bike, big things I guess. So one of the things that's obvious is the Akrapovic exhaust. So it's just an end can, it's not a full system. Just wanted, I like the looks, a little bit more noise. It's not noisy, far from it, just gives the bike a bit more bark, and it looks real nice. Yeah, very pricey. I can't remember how much, British pounds, 700 maybe. So there's a lot of money for what it is, but I didn't want to put something cheap on it. I think the bike deserves better. So that's a bit of a vanity thing, I suppose. And the next thing I did was fit this seat concept, let me zoom in, seat concept comfort seat, because on my CRF250 I found the seat really uncomfortable. This is real nice. They come in different compounds. It's a complete seat unit, so you choose the compound you want, soft, hard, medium, white type of stuff. It's a complete seat and it just fits straight on. I did have a bit of trouble getting it to fit, it took a little bit of persuasion, but yeah, much more comfortable, much wider. Other than that, Akrapovic frame guards, colour coded, fitted those, and heated grips. I'll try and give a demo of those while I'm going. I went for the ultimate add-ons heated grips. Can't really see very well here, but they look nice. They're the size of normal grips. There's no controller as such. The control for it is all mounted actually into the grip itself. There's not an additional controller that you have to fit something. So they're the main things I've fitted to the bike. So what we're going to do now is we are going to head up. There's a bike just coming out up there, which is the Devil's Staircase. Interesting bit of road. So let's see how we get on, and I'll tell you a bit more about the bike as we go. Right, here we go then. So we're about to tackle the Devil's Staircase. Done this quite a few times. The road surface on the tight hairpin bends is not always the best, so I'm pretty glad I'm on this bike because the CRF is really nimble, so yeah, it's perfect for these sorts of things. Road surface a bit wet there, so the camera's going to not do this any justice at all. This is real steep, probably 1 in 3. The camera's going to flatten it out. So let's see what we can do gear-wise. So go down to second. Let's hope we don't meet any camper vans coming the other way. That's always the challenge. We're going to have to slip the clutch a little bit to get round there. It looks clear. Look at the road surface there. Terrible. Look at the view though. We were right down there a minute ago. Unbelievable. Okay, going to first for this one. I think. There we go, no clutch. Yeah, put her up. So yeah, the bike's got plenty of pull for this sort of thing, plenty of acceleration. It's got enough torque to deal with it. So yeah, I think it's got about, I don't know, mid-20s horsepower. It's not really about that. It's how it rides, and yeah, it's got more than enough, I think, for these sorts of roads. As I said, it'll hold its own on A roads as well. It's not where it's happiest. You could commute on it. So I did actually, worth saying, so I don't ride in towns or cities anymore, used to. And but when I had it first service done, I had to ride through the centre of Cardiff in rush hour, which was a bit of an eye-opener. But it was fine, perfect, nipping in and out traffic, you know, traffic lights, little mini roundabouts. Wasn't sure what lane I was supposed to be in because following my sat nav, which wasn't working that great. Perfect, absolutely perfect. I actually really enjoyed it. It certainly sharpens your riding in cities, as I'm sure a lot of people watching this are aware. So yeah, commuting and all that on this would be, you know, be an absolute breeze. So I have other things to say about this bike. So I was saying about how nimble it was, super light. I think they weigh like 153 kilos. So super easy to manoeuvre around. Brakes are fine, really good brakes. No dramas there at all. You can turn the ABS off if you wish, if you're using it off-road or on gravel tracks, that sort of thing. Yeah, brakes are perfect for the job. Obviously, as I said, the bike's quite light, so it doesn't take a huge amount of stopping. I've read other reviews, and when I was looking to buy this, in fact, people said the same about my 250L I have, that the suspension's too soft. I haven't found that, not on the road. I can imagine off-road it might be too soft. The suspension is soft, but not enough to cause a problem. You know, there is a lot of dive. When you get on the bike, it feels real tall when you first sit on it, and then as soon as you put, certainly my fat backside, put that on it, and then the suspension compresses hugely. But you know, you can get a hustle on A roads, and you know, she's not getting out of shape and stuff, so I ain't got a problem with the suspension. I guess it is a potential weak point of the bike, but you've got to remember what this bike costs to buy. You're not talking ridiculous sums of money, so you know, you're not going to get premium suspension. But for what I'm using it for, I found it absolutely fine. I use my 250L for pretty much the same sort of riding, and I found the same with that. I will put a map up that shows roughly where I'm riding, because these are stunning roads. I am a massive advocate for riding in Wales. It's the reason that we moved here, for the fantastic roads and the fantastic scenery. Yeah, for sure, the weather's not always like this. Far from it. We've had some terrible weather since we've been here, but when it is nice, it's absolutely fantastic. The roads are quiet. We used to live in the southeast, and riding there was horrendous. So yeah, this is, I can't speak highly enough. Come to Wales, improve your riding, take in the scenery, enjoy the roads, obviously ride safe. yeah, I can't speak highly enough of riding in Wales. Anyway, more about the CRF. I keep talking about the Wales and the scenery. So clutch is super light. Yeah, these really are easy bikes to ride. It'd be good for beginners, I'm sure. Yeah, they are quite tall. As I said, the suspension compresses quite a lot when you get on it. That could be intimidating, I guess, for new riders, but I think you soon get used to it because it's not that heavy. The fueling's pretty smooth, a little bit rough low down maybe. Certainly for the type of bike it is, really nothing to, you know, to concern yourself about. The comfort, well, the riding position is actually real comfortable. The only thing is, if you're on an A road riding, you know, 70, 75, then your shoulders get a proper blasting. That can be a little bit uncomfortable, but again, probably not what this bike's built for. I mentioned when we stopped about the seat concept seat. It's much wider. It gives you more support. I found the standard seat, certainly on my 250L, was yeah, it used to rip my backside to shreds. So the first thing I did when I brought this was order this seat. Come from America, so you have to wait a little bit, but it's a massive improvement. I was really happy with the colour match as well. Wasn't too sure whether to go for red. I saw some others. Yeah, I did a bit of research into it. Some seats that you can buy elsewhere, Corbin seats and stuff like that, are black and they didn't quite look right. The red is actually a really good colour match on this. It looks right, so that's good. As is the way when making a YouTube video, we'll stop here and take some more photos, I think. One question a few people have asked, which is quite a good question actually, is why did I choose the Rally over the L? So when I had the 250 I had the L, and this time I've gone for the Rally. It's a good question actually. So partly styling, I like the look of the Rally, and also probably the reasons I've said already around using it predominantly on the road. The little fairing screen gives you just that little bit more protection, and the fairing that gives you a little bit more. So yeah, that's probably it really. So I left the bike in fourth there, down to, you know, just over 20 mile an hour, you know, 2,000 revs. Just being lazy, not changing down. I didn't need to. Yeah, there's enough torque just to pull her out the corner. I'll be completely honest, I did this ride last night and it was a bit cloudier, and I wasn't happy with the footage. So because the weather was much nicer today, I thought right after work I'll come out and do it again. So hey, I'm not going to moan about riding on these roads, but yeah, I've got my fingers crossed, real crossed, that this footage comes out better today. I said I'd talk about any niggles or issues I've had with it. Well, to be honest, I haven't really had any issues with it. The dealer fitted these Ultimate Add-ons heated grips, and they wired them direct to the battery, so they didn't turn on and off with ignition, they were just on the whole time. I got that rectified on the first service, but that's nothing to do with the CRF, so that's not really a niggle with this bike. The side stand's too short, bit of a strange one, but it honestly is too short. I don't know why, but it is. So that's a niggle. Just going to stop here, so hot, I have to stop for a drink, some refreshment. But yeah, other than that, I've not really got much to moan about really, and people that know me will know that's quite unusual. So yeah, so far so good with this bike. I know some people are interested in fuel consumption. I don't know what the figures are, but it uses absolutely nothing, basically. So yes, as said earlier, I did this ride yesterday and I wasn't happy with the footage, so I'm doing it again today. And it was a 50-mile round trip, and I think the fuel gauge was showing more than half. And when I filled it back up before I left, it cost me £4.40 or something to fill it up. So it uses fumes basically. Certainly if you're used to ride a big bike, this is using absolutely nothing. Right, so we're about halfway around the Llyn Brianne Reservoir now, and I've said it before, but yeah, this is where this bike's happy on these roads here, just cruising along. Yeah, they're rough. Look how rough this is. And the suspension, I guess because of the nature of it being soft, it just soaks all these bumps up. Just thought I'd stop here with the slipway for the Llyn Brianne Reservoir in the background. Just admire the beauty of this CRF300. I think Honda have really nailed the looks. I know it's all personal opinion, not everyone may agree, but personally for me, I think it looks the absolute business. So I think it's pretty clear that I really love this bike. I don't think there's much competition for it, and the price point is at. Maybe the Kawasaki KLX300, or they don't do a rally version of that. You can't compare it to the 10RA and things like that. They're in a different bracket. They're a much more expensive bike, different bike. So I think for value for money, I think this is a real good bike, but make your own mind up. Take one for a test ride. I strongly suggest take one for a test ride if you're interested. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you think I'm talking utter rubbish, please tell me. Always happy for people to share their opinions. That's what this is all about. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. That would help us hugely. And if you hit the bell icon, you'll be alerted when we post more content. Hopefully, might be persuaded to take this off-road. So that'll be interesting. And mostly, importantly, ride safe. And we'll see you on the next one.